Tonight, the Philippine Navy faces a major setback that could have far-reaching consequences for the country's maritime security. A multi-billion peso project, once hailed as a cornerstone for boosting the nation's maritime strength, is now mired in uncertainty and delay. The highly anticipated delivery of 2 advanced landing platform docks, or LPDs, has been significantly delayed, leaving the Navy's plans in limbo. These state-of-the-art ships were intended to become the new backbone of the fleet, representing a critical step forward in the country's ongoing military modernization efforts. The delay raises tough questions about project management, transparency, and the reliability of the partnership with Indonesia's PT PAL, the shipbuilder responsible for the vessels. The Navy was counting on these vessels not only to protect the sprawling archipelago, but also to respond swiftly to emergencies and crises, both natural and man-made. LPDs are not just ordinary warships, they're floating command centers, capable of coordinating complex operations and serving as vital hubs for both defense and disaster response. The delay leaves a significant gap in the Navy's readiness and the nation's overall resilience, especially as the Philippines faces frequent natural disasters and regional tensions. The modernization effort now faces a very public hurdle, undermining momentum and forcing the Navy to stretch its already aging assets even thinner. What was once a symbol of progress and hope for a stronger defense is now a growing source of concern and frustration. Morale among sailors is visibly affected, and public confidence in the government's ability to deliver large-scale defense projects is being shaken. The government's ability to fulfill its promises and maintain national security is now under intense scrutiny, with critics demanding answers and accountability. As weeks turn into months, the pressure continues to mount. Why is this happening? And when will the Navy finally receive the ships it desperately needs to fulfill its mission? The nation's security and disaster response capabilities now hang in the balance, with every delay increasing the risks faced by both the military and the public. The delay is more than just a logistical issue. It's a strategic disappointment that could impact the country's defense posture for years to come. Indonesian shipbuilder PT PAL has finally broken its silence. In a public statement, PT PAL acknowledged a revised timeline, but avoided calling it a delay. They emphasized partnership, trust, and ongoing progress at their Surabaya shipyard. PT PAL released images of construction, stressing that quality takes time and cannot be rushed. The company highlights frequent consultations with Philippine Navy representatives at the shipyard, signaling transparency and cooperation. PT PAL's message: the project is moving forward, and the final product will meet expectations. By reframing the narrative, they aim to reassure stakeholders and maintain trust. The company insists the partnership remains strong and the ships will be delivered. Their approach is classic crisis management: acknowledge, reframe, and promise success. For now, PT PAL's optimism is meant to calm the waters as work continues. Despite PT PAL's repeated reassurances and official statements, skepticism is steadily growing within Manila's defense circles, and concerns are becoming more vocal. Experts point out a troubling lack of concrete, verifiable updates. Missed milestones, such as the postponed keel-laying ceremony, have raised significant red flags and fueled further doubts about the project's progress. The ongoing absence of public progress reports only serves to fuel rumors and erode confidence, not just in PT PAL, but also in the government's ability to oversee such a critical project. The Philippine military's long history of procurement delays makes many observers wary of optimistic timelines and official promises, as past experiences have often ended in disappointment. Questions are now being raised. Is the Department of National Defense truly holding PT PAL accountable for these setbacks, or are issues being overlooked? Are penalties for delays actually being enforced? Or are contractual obligations being quietly set aside in the face of mounting challenges? The concern here isn't just technical, it's about management, transparency, and the broader implications for national security if these issues remain unresolved. Every month of delay leaves the Navy without critical assets, exposing a growing capability gap and leaving the country vulnerable to unforeseen threats. Analysts are now asking, what contingency plans, if any, are in place to fill this gap and ensure the Navy's operational readiness in the meantime? The ongoing silence, both on the construction front and in terms of strategic communication, is deeply troubling to many stakeholders. This growing skepticism is rooted in a deep and genuine concern for the country's defense posture and the safety of its citizens. Once again, the procurement process appears to be falling short of expectations, with inefficiencies and delays undermining trust. As a result, confidence in the entire modernization program is now at risk, and the path forward remains uncertain. To truly grasp the impact of this delay, it's important to understand what an LPD, or landing platform dock, actually is and why it matters so much. These impressive ships serve as mobile military bases, but they're also floating humanitarian hubs, capable of supporting a wide range of missions at sea and on land. LPDs enable amphibious warfare by launching troops, armored vehicles, and essential equipment directly onto hostile or remote shores. Their expansive flight decks allow multiple helicopters to operate at once, supporting everything from combat missions to search and rescue operations. For a nation of over 7,000 islands like the Philippines, LPDs are absolutely essential. They move forces quickly between islands, respond to emerging threats, and help secure vast maritime borders. These ships can transport and sustain a battalion-sized force, complete with vehicles and supplies, making them indispensable in times of conflict or crisis. But their value goes far beyond combat. They're vital for disaster relief, delivering food, water, and medical care to remote or devastated communities that are otherwise cut off. The Philippines faces frequent typhoons, earthquakes, and floods. In these emergencies, LPDs become lifelines, bringing hope and help when it's needed most. The two new ships were expected to dramatically boost this capacity, allowing for larger, faster, and more effective responses to both military and humanitarian challenges. Without these vital ships, the nation's ability to save lives, respond to disasters, and defend its territory is significantly diminished, leaving critical gaps in both security and relief efforts. The delay in their arrival is a serious blow, not just to national security, but also to the country's readiness to respond to humanitarian crises when every second counts. Shipbuilding follows a strict sequence of milestones, each one a marker of progress. For the Navy's new LPDs, several key milestones have been missed, putting the timeline under scrutiny. The steel cutting ceremony happened late, signaling early scheduling issues. The anticipated keel laying was quietly postponed, a clear sign the project is off track. Missing one milestone can cascade into further delays. Launching, outfitting, and sea trials all get pushed back. PAL's claims of progress clash with the reality of missed deadlines. Without a transparent, revised timeline, neither the Navy nor the public knows when the ships will be ready. The missed milestones are more than symbolic. They're evidence the project is adrift. The Navy needs clarity and accountability to set a new course. Until then, uncertainty reigns. The project's future depends on honest communication and a realistic schedule. Delays in major defense projects rarely have a single cause. Global supply chain disruptions are a major factor. Warships require components from around the world, and bottlenecks are common. PAL's shipyard may be stretched thin, juggling multiple projects and prioritizing domestic needs. Design changes requested by the Philippine Navy add complexity and can slow construction. Even minor modifications can ripple through the build process, causing unforeseen delays. Financial or administrative hurdles may also play a role. Payment issues or internal cash flow problems can stall progress. Both sides are unlikely to discuss these issues publicly, but they're critical to any project's success. The combination of supply, labor, design, and financial challenges has pushed the project off course. Understanding these factors is key to finding solutions. Only by addressing them can the project get back on track. The delay in receiving the LPDs has far-reaching consequences. The Navy's operational plans are on hold, forcing reliance on older, less capable ships. This widens the capability gap the new LPDs were meant to fill. National security is at stake. The Philippines faces threats in the West Philippine Sea and from internal groups. Without the LPDs, rapid deployment and sustained patrols are limited, and adversaries may take notice. The delay also damages the country's international reputation, raising doubts about its reliability as a defense partner. Morale within the Navy suffers as sailors face uncertainty and frustration. Training and career plans are disrupted, eroding professionalism and motivation. The cost of waiting is measured in strategic gaps, lost credibility, and human impact. The Navy's modernization, and its people, are paying the price. The stakes are higher than ever. The PAL delays have reignited debate. Should the Philippines build its own warships or keep buying abroad? Buying from established foreign shipyards is faster and more practical for complex vessels, but relying on foreign suppliers exposes the country to external risks. Supply chain issues, diplomatic tensions, and shifting priorities. Advocates for domestic shipbuilding argue for control, job creation and technology transfer. The Philippines already has a large commercial shipbuilding sector that could be upgraded for naval projects. A hybrid approach is possible: buy complex ships abroad, build smaller vessels at home, and gradually develop local expertise. The LPD delay is a lesson in the need for self-reliance and long-term planning. The future of the Navy may depend on striking the right balance. Moving forward requires decisive action from both the Philippine government and PT-PAL. A new, realistic timeline must be set and communicated transparently. PT-PAL needs to explain the delays and present a credible plan to prevent further slippage. The Department of National Defense must enforce oversight, hold PT-PAL accountable, and keep the public informed. Sending a technical team to the shipyard can verify progress and resolve bottlenecks. This crisis should drive long-term reforms, stronger contracts, better transparency, and investment in domestic shipbuilding. The partnership between the Philippines and PT-PAL is tested, but not broken. With accountability and cooperation, the project can still succeed. These ships are too important to be left adrift. The Navy's future depends on learning from this challenge and building a stronger, more resilient force.